Is this what you're giving us this year, Ubisoft? This reimagined trash. Let's see what the comments are like. I love You Just Dance. The graphics this year are absolutely insane. Sheesh, calm down. It's literally the same like its predecessors. Level Up blew my mind right away, but overall these look epic. Yeah, epic when you realize that mashups aren't gonna return. Do you know what I hate? Annual releases. Because sooner or later, if they keep going, the franchise is soon enough going to decline and it will go obsolete. You might end up thinking that there's going to be brand new game modes, where in reality, it's just a reskin of the previous games. Then again, I do need to go to the gym, but I'm super lazy and I want to do something fun. You know what? This brings me an idea. Today, I'm going to be playing through all the Just Dance games, because Joe Wicks is too hard for me. First up, we have the first Just Dance game. And just like that, I'm already hooked. According to the Just Dance community, this is everyone's least favorite Just Dance game, and critics didn't really like it either as well. Automatically, I can find one reason why. The scoring system is utter garbage. Like for example, when I was doing this dance here, I was acting more like pretty much an idiot, getting higher points, where I did the normal dance, I got lower points. Or when I was doing this action, I had to put my Wii remote in an awkward vertical position so I can get higher points. Or if I am to get really high points for doing this action, I had to put my hand on the Wii remote. Sounds like bad bones for a start, but it actually gets better. For starters, the soundtrack for this game is mostly recognizable, and most of the choreographies are really fun to dance to. Most of what the choreographies do actually fits the setting for both the person who's doing the choreography on the screen and even some of the settings. For instance, the coach from Jingo Bar seems to be part of some tribe, and the movements and actions kind of looks like if she is part of some tribe or doing some ritual. Even though that I said that the scoring system is bad, then again, this was Ubisoft's first entry into the rhythm game genre, so thus, the technology they had to offer was probably in its infancy. And honestly, I enjoyed my time revisiting this game. Okay, yes, the graphics aren't really stellar, and the backdrops aren't the most interesting, so to say, but really, all the choreographies differentiate from each other, and each of them are unique and enjoyable. And if people can look past the really irritating scoring system, then this can actually be good fun with friends. Not the best first entry to the series, but hey, without this game, all the other Just Dance games probably would have never been released. Really, people should give the first Just Dance game a massive break and actually appreciate for what it started. I may reveal to you that my favorite choreography from this game is there by Gorillas. Next, we have a game that started the phenomenon that this series is most known for. You really do love your startup screens, do you, Ubisoft? After the apparent mess by its predecessor, Ubisoft really had to up the ante to improve the Just Dance franchise, and they did it with a sequel. The scoring system no longer sucked, and the dancers had a lot more personality in them while doing their choreographies. And did I say choreographies? The choreographies were a lot more fun to dance to compared to its predecessor, and also there were new features that will become staples in the franchise. First of all, there was the Just Sweat mode, which can let you see how many calories you burn while doing each of the choreographies. Ubisoft then also included the genius idea of adding duet dances, meaning that there are two different choreographers that you can dance to, and who can forget gold moves. Certain moves that actually fit in with a key moment of a song that makes you really feel satisfied when you nail them correctly. And let's not forget the charm and the personalities the dancers bring to the table. For example, Idealistic and Satisfaction are both robots that are seemingly in training sessions. The choreographer for Baby Girl is a gangster Rastafarian. Rockefeller's gang's coach really doesn't like music turned up too much. The backgrounds are a lot more interesting, and it's like the first game, they fit in well with the character you're dancing to. The effects are also pretty amazing, and they really do add a lot of effect to the choreography. Then in comes the most underrated part of the game, the startup screens before you do the choreographies. They really fit the tone well on what the dance is going to be like. Observe. My only real problem with this game is that the next few entries in the Just Dance series definitely outshine this one. And I found this bit in the body movement choreography disturbing for some reason. Get away from me! And my favorite choreography from Just Dance 2 is Hey Ya by Outkast. I mean, look at this guy, he's got some mad skills. Up next, we have Just Dance 3. Just Dance 3 is my second favorite Just Dance game, because it improved everything what Just 2 had and added some many more interesting game features. The tracklist has an abundance of really cool songs, and the choreographies are just as good. The backdrops, like the last two games, really do fit the choreographies of the dancers, but some backdrops even interact with them. For example, the dancer for Video Killed a Radio Star starts off as being part of the background. When the two robot dancers from Daft Punk shuts down, they get carried away by cranes. And this guy can pinpoint dodge orange slicing squares. Okay, that's a thing. Some of the dancers even literally have personalities that, makes you want to enjoy doing the dance with them. I mean, this guy especially, he was my favorite as a kid. And because I really loved most of the soundtrack in this game, I actually had a bit of a sing-along, which you don't want to hear because I'm a pretty terrible singer. But let's talk about the features that really made this game stand out. The introduction of mashups. Just Dance 3 is the first game to include the Mojo system, a gift reward system that unlocks a brand new choreography to dance to. You can get some new dancers, some alternates, but most importantly, in my opinion, mashups. Brand new choreographies that utilizes some of the dancers from this game and even combines some with the previous games as well. Some recognizable faces, and some... Who is he again? However, the concept of a mashup never gets old to me, as it's always nice to see some of your favorite dancers working with others from previous titles to create one new awesome choreography. Combine that with the absolutely singable and memorable tracklist, and you have really one memorable and awesome party game. Wait, I'm sorry. Who's the London Theatre Orchestra and cast? Wasn't the song Think made by Aretha Franklin? Okay, this might come as no surprise, but my favorite choreography from Just Dance 3 is Party Rock Anthem. Next up, we have Just Dance 4. When you first boot up Just Dance 4, one thing's definitely noticeable. Its jump-off graphical quality compared to its predecessor. The dances in the game look a lot more realistic compared to the cartoon-like appearance of the previous dancers in Just Dance 2 and 3, which I honestly much preferred if I'm being honest. Moving past that obviously controversial opinion, I quite liked the track list for this game, adding the fact that most of these tracks have quite a great choreography to boot. The backdrops also fit incredibly well with its allocated songs. And admittedly, the visuals are a lot more impressive compared to Just Dance 3. But compared to Just Dance 3, I didn't have as much of a good time. While the game still has ounces of personality, it just felt a lot less. And after playing the game for this recording session, I didn't feel I was missing out on anything. While with Just Dance 3, I kinda desperately want to go back to it so I don't have to make this video. Does that mean the game is bad? No! Despite its flaws, I still liked the game. Despite the game's new take on art style, it doesn't feel generic whatsoever. Gold moves are still satisfying to score. The dance crew and duets mode were indefinitely more interesting. And, repeating this fact again, it had some pretty great choreographies. The rewards you get from a Mojo system are a lot more diverse. There are the challenging extreme alternates. The Mojo system also introduces the dance battle mode. It is when two songs are pitted against each other and you have to dance better to inflict damage. It's definitely one of the more innovative Just Dance game modes. And seeing the dynamic of the two choreographers during the battle is kind of amusing. Mashups even return with a bang. When looking at the mashups from Just Dance 3, while they were great, they weren't very varied. Do I still know you? The mashups for this game actually uses some dances that weren't previously utilized, which is always a good thing. And you can watch your favorite dancers slowly disappear from existence. Just Dance 4 also has the pleasure of having the best Just Sweat mode. We not only felt that it had somewhat of your own personal instructor, but it also determines your energy level, and that actually determines whether you can play a harder song or a much lower difficulty song, and it even tells you how many calories you burned by the end of it. Neat. Even your personal trainer speaks, and I love that so much.
Gathering energy. Fight. Make it circle. Take a good breath. Stretch. Make it circle. Very good. Charging. Good.
So overall, Just Dance 4 is a great addition to the franchise, with its positive definitely outshining its negatives. But let's just hope the next few games are fine. And my favorite choreography from Just Dance 4 is Rock and Roll Will Take You to the Mountain. An absolute classic, that one. Do you want to know why? You can shoot lasers and you can rub the wall. Next up is Just Dance 2014, and it's okay. It's got a decent soundtrack and some of the dances are extremely creative, but are they fun? While a good majority are, they aren't exactly memorable. The Mojo bar system has now become some sort of a Mojo coin system. The amount of stars you get in a single song is the amount of coins you get. Most of the rewards you get are like the same from Just Dance 4. The challenging extreme modes, the battle mode which kind of amped up the difficulty but still retained its charm, and of course mashups. Now, while I loved the background choice this time being a disco ball that alternates and switches to different dances, that's kinda it. A few of the mashups have some pretty weird beginning lags, and unlike the last two games where they each have different characters, they only had a specific few they wanted to add in for the mashups this year. But I wanted variation, not just the same dancers used. Oh wait, it has Party Rock Anthem. Okay, I love the mashups of Just Dance 2014. Despite all of this, I only really had a great time with the select few choreographies. These include It's You by Duck Sauce, Nitrobot by
The game developers,
I Will Survive by Gloria Gaynor, a song that people actually know, Troublemaker because Ollie Mercer is becoming underrated, please listen to his music, Get Lucky, one of my favorite duet choreographies along with Blurred Lines, Not Applause by Lady Gaga because they thought this was suitable for kids, and my favorite choreography of the game, the PAL exclusive. Okay, I bet you have no idea what I'm on about. What I meant is that the European edition of the game got a choreography with a jazzy president who just so happened to be a superhero. Yes, it's Alfonso Signorini by Fedez, and I think I enjoyed it way too much. It's a shame I don't speak any other European language other than English, because I don't understand Spanish, or is it French? Yeah, I really wanted to sing along to that one too, but I just didn't understand the language. Oh, it's a surprise. One of my fictional characters from my own movie came from this video. How did you know about that? You know what, Stephanie? That actually makes a lot of sense. Just Dance 2015 is next. After the disappointment of revisiting 2014, Just Dance 2015 covered up its mistakes. The soundtrack is pretty good, and compared to Just Dance 2014, they had a lot more choreographies that were actually great. And even some choreography started to use camera tricks. Some were pretty overwhelming, but most actually get you into the feeling of the dance. Especially Bad Romance's choreography, as it has some real-time footage and some digitized. Gold's moves are more unexpected, and it's extra special and extra rewarding when you get them right. Unfortunately, in terms of the standard choreographies, not all that glitters is gold. For example, Diamonds by Rihanna got an extremely repetitive and boring choreography, and the only good thing about Love Us All is that Glowbox from Rayman Legends has a cameo. But negative outliers like these shouldn't really affect the game too much, as there's still some pretty great highlights. Just Dance 2015 brought back the original charm of the dance crew dances from Just Dance 3. In fact, Walk This Way and She Looks So Perfect are two of the best choreographies in the entire franchise. And once again, the Mojo system still has some pretty great rewards. The mashups of Just Dance 2015 are much better compared to 2014's lackluster range of mashups. Mashups also now have a certain and distinctive theme. For example, the mashup for What Does the Fox Say has only tribal people. The mashup for Bailando has choreographers who are wearing clothes akin to what a rock star will wear. The Never Can Say Goodbye mashup only has Just Dance 2 choreographers, etc, etc. In short, Just Dance 2015 has a lot of variation, and that's why I love it very much. And my favorite choreography from Just Dance 2015 is Love Me Again. Next up is my favorite Just Dance 2016. Now, the happy memories are already coming back. I had great fun with some great choreographies, like I Got a Feeling, Hey Mama, Fancy, Wants to Want Me, I'm an Albatross, and my favorite choreography, Blame. The mashups were at its high point with some of the most creative choreographies out there, and co-op mode is a great little system where you dance as a team in order to get all the gems. I loved playing this game so much, and I really wanted to play this game again for this video, but the game crashed on me. Oh well then, at least I still have Just Dance 3. What can I do about it? Okay, I don't have Just Dance 2017, but Can't Feel Your Face is one of my favorite choreographies in the entire series. It deserves a mention. Next up, we have Just Dance 2018. Oh, this is where the bad things start. Oh my days, if there's any other Just Dance game that I hate the most, it's certainly this one. The soundtrack is utterly redundant. There's like loads of new songs that came out during the year this game was released, and then there are really obscure songs that I didn't even know until I got the game for the first time. The quality is really inconsistent. There's some backdrops that are really fitting to their allocated song, but most of them are just After Effects tech demos. Well, you might be thinking, that can't be that bad when the choreographies are fun, right? Well, I only liked Dharma and his alternate version, the Stuntsman edition of Another One Bites the Dust, Risky Business, Diggy, In the Hall of the Pixel King, and the only choreography in the entire game that tells some sort of story, Automaton. These are the only choreographies that keep the charm of Just Dance consistent. And I guess the dancer for Bad Liar does have a bit of character going on, but the backdrop has no resemblance to the song whatsoever. All the other choreographies in the game are not interesting or fun whatsoever. The dancers barely any have personality, the choreographies are often repetitive. The choreographies of the more recognizable songs are just flat out boring due to how slow they are. Shape of You is the most dullest choreography ever, and even worse, he looks like the rejected twin brother of the electro body coach. Swish Swish tried to get into modern trends, but it ends up being cringe because I don't even like modern trends. The backdrops, again, aren't even metaphorically clever and are only here to make the game look good. Gold moves just blend into the choreography because for some reason gold moves are apparently a very Just Dance thing to do. Dances that start out pretty strong but then get more blander as you go on. Well, there's got to be a few interesting game modes, am I right? Wait, there's a kids mode? I wonder who asked for this. Absolutely no one, since Just Dance was a kid-orientated game in the first place. Wait, I can only see some very uninteresting alternate modes. Where are the mashups? Oh yeah, I forgot. In this game they removed them. This was the thing that angered me the most about Just Dance 2018. The removal of mashups. The very game mode that kept the center of Just Dance glued together was no longer there. And the worst part is that they don't even return mashups in the next few games. Oh yeah, and you have to unlock alternates, not buy them with the mojo coins like you would expect. Nah, you can only get avatars. And that's the whole reason why I'm keeping my social credit score up. Just Dance 2018 is not only my least favorite entry to the series, but one of my least favorite video games of all time, and I never want to play it again, except for the one song that actually feels like a Just Dance choreography, and the only choreography that actually made me sing along to it. Just Dance 2019. After the sour taste that Just Dance 2018 put in my mouth, I was actually surprised that 2019 was good. To get the elephant out of the room, the choreographies are finally interesting again. There were tons more faster paced dances, and when there was a slower paced dance, it will actually be interesting, and not one that would bore me to death. In terms of soundtrack, there are still a lot of obscure songs, but they are also evened out by some songs that were popular prior to the game's release. And while the kids mode still existed, most of the problems from 2018 are fixed, like the mode system actually giving you other rewards like alternates, avatars, and backdrops. While some of the backdrops don't even fit in with the song, they were a lot more eye-pleasing compared to the last one, and a bit more creative. The 2-player, 4-player, and 3-player choreographies are more involving. Gold moves are no longer blended into the chorus and are thus more special. The choreographies are way more engaging. The effects are brilliant, especially for Wii U. Sweet Sensation is the only dance where the dancers have personality. Oh wait, that's actually a bad thing. In terms of how the game looks before you choose the songs, man do I hate it. The selection screens make you see the choreography before you do the dance. And you might be thinking, Bionihero, but that's a good thing. But what I loved about the original games is that it only shows a picture of the dancer before you do the actual dance, leaving you into mystery whether the choreography will be good or not. With this, you can just make up your mind before you choose the next song. I detest the new look of the scoring system, because while the scoring system itself still works perfectly, the aesthetics of it is just not memorable. Whereas the stars in the previous titles look hyper-realistic, and that's why it feels a lot more rewarding earning them. And yes, while I do have the Wii version of Just Dance 2018, one of my friends had the Wii U port of it, and even that had the hyper-realistic stars. Just Dance 2018 doesn't have this problem, and surprise surprise, mashups don't even return. And alluding back to when I said Sweet Sensation is the only choreography with personality, Fire, Narco, A Little Party Never Kills Nobody, and Sa Plan Pour More are the only other choreographers that aren't dancing for the sake of dancing. And thanks to a certain fictional character that appeared earlier on, I can tell that this song is French. And much worse, the game doesn't have the legendary charm that I felt the earlier games had. So at an aesthetic standpoint, I really don't like 2019, but as a party game, it's acceptable. I mean, what other game can let you play as Groot from Guardians of the Galaxy? And my favorite choreography from Just Dance 2019 is Fire. Last and hopefully not least, Just Dance 2020, also known as the last game ever on the Wii. Fun fact, it wasn't me who bought the game, it was actually my sister. Thank goodness she chose the Wii port, because I would much prefer this type of menu over that type of menu. Sure, the Wii ports can only allow you to buy avatars with your Mojo coins, and mashups still don't return. Please add them back, Ubisoft. But I was actually genuinely surprised that it had really good choreographies. I mean, sure, the soundtrack is a little inferior compared to the previous game with having more obscure titles, but I don't care. Despite how great the majority of the choreographies are, they don't give personality like the earlier games used to. Despite this, there were some pretty genuine highlights. I felt the dances were a lot more energetic compared to the previous game. But only a rare few actually felt like they were part of the song, like Sushi and Fit But You Know It. And Bangarang too, the choreography for that was great, although I don't know why they only placed the song here in this game and not in Just Dance 4. And while it's a good game, I kinda got bored of the franchise at that point. The damage from Just Dance 2018 had already been done, and I no longer feel the charm or even the memorability that the original games produced. Then again, what am I talking about? The Fit But You Know It choreography is my favorite in the game, and everyone hates the choreography. Yeah, the sad fact about Just Dance is that Rayman Legends is better than all of them. That's because the Rayman franchise isn't milked beyond belief, and that's why Ubisoft has many years to perfect the game. Just Dance is an annual release type of game. What upset me the most about doing this video is that, as I played through all the other games, I watched as the series decline. In its early days, Just Dance was innovative, it was creative, it was charming, and it was fun. But now, all I just see it is a huge cash cow. And if you're a big fan of the Just Dance series, this video was not meant to dishearten you. I'm glad that you're still passionate about a franchise, and hey, a franchise is absolutely nothing without its fans. But me personally, I've just fallen out of touch with it. I'm no longer interested in what the series has become. And I just wish that it would just go back to the days when it used to be what it should be. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you next time.